The Red River, known as Song Hong in Vietnamese, flows through the heart of northern Vietnam, acting as the lifeblood of the region both in its historical and contemporary contexts. The Red River originates from the mountains of Yunnan Province in southwestern China, where it is known as the Yuan River. It meanders through rugged mountainous terrain before entering Vietnam, where it begins its journey towards the Gulf of Tonkin. The river is famed for its reddish-brown waters, which give it its name. The red tint of the river is caused by the silt and sediment that it picks up from the mountains and deposits along its banks as it flows through the country. This rich, alluvial soil makes the Red River Delta one of the most fertile and agriculturally productive regions in Vietnam, contributing significantly to the country's rice production. The delta is densely populated, with millions of people depending on the river for their livelihoods, particularly in agriculture and fishing. Historically, the river has been a vital transportation route, facilitating trade and cultural exchanges between northern Vietnam and southern China. Its strategic location has also made it a key battleground during various periods of conflict, from ancient wars to colonial struggles. Despite the river's economic and historical importance, it has also posed significant challenges, particularly in terms of flooding and environmental degradation. Climate change, urbanization, and industrialization have all taken a toll on the river's health, leading to concerns about its long-term sustainability. However, efforts are being made to manage these issues through better infrastructure, environmental regulations, and sustainable development practices. Flowing from its source in the mountains of Yunnan, the Red River carves its way through northern Vietnam, where its delta is home to one of the country's most populous regions. The river's name is derived from the reddish-brown color of its waters, which carry a heavy load of silt and sediment from the mountains. This sediment is deposited along the river's banks, creating fertile floodplains that have been crucial for rice cultivation for centuries. The Red River Delta is one of Vietnam's two main rice-producing areas, along with the Mekong Delta in the south. Rice farming in the delta has been a cornerstone of Vietnamese civilization for thousands of years, with evidence of agricultural activity in the region dating back to ancient times. The abundance of natural resources provided by the river has supported dense populations and complex societies throughout history. The delta's fertile soil, combined with its strategic location, has made it a hub of economic activity and a crossroads for cultural exchanges between different regions. The river has been a vital artery for trade, connecting northern Vietnam with southern China and the wider world. Throughout history, the Red River has witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties, the spread of Buddhism and Confucianism, and the influence of Chinese, French, and other foreign powers. Its waters have carried traders, explorers, and soldiers, shaping the course of Vietnamese history. One of the most significant periods in the history of the Red River region was during the rule of the ancient Vietnamese states, such as the Kingdom of Van Lang and the subsequent Kingdom of Olac. These early states emerged in the Red River Delta, drawing their strength from the fertile lands and the control of trade routes along the river. The legendary figure of King Ndung Vong is closely associated with the Red River and the ancient capital of Co Loa, which was strategically located near the river. The Co Loa Citadel, with its concentric walls and moats, stands as a testament to the region's early political and military sophistication. During these early periods, the river was not only an economic lifeline but also a symbol of power and authority. Control of the Red River and its resources was crucial for maintaining political dominance and ensuring the prosperity of the kingdom. The Red River's strategic importance continued to grow as northern Vietnam became a contested region during the period of Chinese domination, which lasted for nearly 1,000 years. From the Han Dynasty to the Tang Dynasty, Chinese rulers sought to control the Red River Delta, recognizing its economic and strategic value. During this period, the river became a focal point for resistance against foreign rule. The Vietnamese people, while influenced by Chinese culture and administrative practices, maintained a distinct identity and fought repeatedly to regain their independence. The river played a key role in these struggles, providing a natural defense and a means of organizing resistance. One of the most famous uprisings against Chinese domination took place in the Red River region in the 1st century CE, led by the Trung sisters. The sisters, Trung Trak and Trung Ni, were noblewomen who mobilized a rebellion against the Han dynasty's rule, leading a force of warriors from the Red River Delta to liberate Vietnamese territory. Their short-lived victory and subsequent defeat became a symbol of Vietnamese resistance and resilience, and they are revered as national heroines to this day. The Red River and its delta were central to their campaign, as the sisters leveraged the natural geography and the local population's knowledge of the land to wage a guerrilla war against the Chinese forces. After centuries of struggle, Vietnam finally regained its independence in the 10th century, with the establishment of the Dinh and Le dynasties. The Red River region, particularly the area around modern-day Hanoi, became the political and cultural heart of the newly independent state. The city of Thang Long, later renamed Hanoi, was founded on the banks of the Red River in 1010 by Emperor Lai Tai Tu, marking the beginning of a new era in Vietnamese history. Thang Long quickly grew into a bustling capital, benefiting from its position along the Red River, which facilitated trade and communication with other parts of Vietnam and the wider region. The river's importance as a transportation route continued to grow, with merchants and traders plying its waters, bringing goods from the interior to the coast and beyond. The Red River also played a crucial role in shaping the cultural and religious landscape of Vietnam. Buddhism, which had been introduced from China and India, spread along the river's banks, as monasteries and pagodas were established in the delta. Many of these religious sites, such as the famous One-Pillar Pagoda in Hanoi, were built near the river, symbolizing the close connection between the river and the spiritual life of the people. During the colonial era, the Red River became a battleground once again, as Vietnam came under French control in the 19th century. The French recognized the strategic importance of the Red River Delta, particularly its agricultural potential and its role as a gateway to China. The colonial administration invested in infrastructure projects along the river, including the construction of railways and ports, to facilitate the export of rice, coal, and other commodities. However, the river also became a site of resistance, as Vietnamese nationalists, inspired by anti-colonial movements around the world, launched uprisings and campaigns against French rule. The Red River, with its dense network of villages and waterways, provided a natural base for guerrilla fighters, who used the river's geography to evade capture and launch attacks on French forces. During the Vietnam War, the Red River once again became a critical strategic asset. The river's location near Hanoi made it a key target for American bombing campaigns, as the United States sought to disrupt supply lines and weaken the North Vietnamese government. Bridges, ports, and other infrastructure along the river were repeatedly bombed, causing significant damage to the region. Despite this, the people of the Red River Delta showed remarkable resilience, rebuilding their communities and continuing to rely on the river for their livelihoods. In the post-war period, the Red River has continued to play a vital role in Vietnam's development. The river remains a key transportation route, supporting the movement of goods between northern Vietnam and the rest of the country. In conclusion, the Red River, or Song Hong, has long been more than just a body of water flowing through the landscape of northern Vietnam. It is a force that has shaped the very identity, culture, and livelihood of millions of people for millennia. As one of Vietnam's most historically significant rivers, its reddish, silt-laden waters have symbolized fertility, power, and resilience. The Red River Delta, a cradle of Vietnamese civilization, has fostered agricultural prosperity, allowing rice farming to flourish, which in turn sustained the early Vietnamese states, influenced political power, and gave rise to the vibrant cultural and historical heart of the nation. Throughout the centuries, from the ancient kingdoms of Van Lang and Olac to the present-day Socialist Republic of Vietnam, the Red River has been a witness to the ebb and flow of history. Its waters have seen the rise and fall of dynasties, from the legendary struggles against Chinese domination to the establishment of Thang Long as the capital of an independent Vietnam. It has nurtured revolutionaries like the Trung sisters, whose rebellion is forever enshrined in Vietnamese folklore, as well as the spirit of resistance during French colonization and the Vietnam War, where the river's geography played a key role in guerrilla tactics and the people's unwavering resilience. Over time, the river has not only facilitated the movement of goods, people, and ideas but has also acted as a symbol of Vietnamese identity and sovereignty in the face of foreign occupation. However, the importance of the Red River is not merely confined to its historical legacy. In modern times, it continues to be an essential artery for the economic development of the region. The delta remains one of Vietnam's most fertile agricultural zones, contributing a significant portion of the country's rice production and supporting the livelihoods of millions of farmers. Beyond agriculture, the river's waters fuel industries, transport networks, and hydropower projects that contribute to the broader economic activities in northern Vietnam. Cities like Hanoi, the political and cultural center of the country, continue to depend on the river for their growth and prosperity. Yet, as vital as the Red River is, it faces a number of pressing challenges in the modern era. Rapid urbanization, industrialization, and the demands of a growing population have placed immense pressure on the river's ecosystem. Pollution from industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and untreated sewage threatens the health of the river, diminishing water quality and posing risks to both human populations and biodiversity. The river's ecological balance, which has sustained life for thousands of years, is now under threat from human activity. Environmental degradation is compounded by the impacts of climate change, with rising sea levels and changing rainfall patterns increasing the frequency and severity of floods in the delta. These floods, which once deposited nutrient-rich silt beneficial for agriculture, now present more frequent dangers to the infrastructure and human settlements that have grown up around the river. Addressing these challenges requires coordinated efforts at multiple levels: local, national, and international. Sustainable development is key to ensuring that the Red River continues to serve as a vital resource for future generations. This involves not only improving infrastructure, such as building stronger levees, modernizing irrigation systems, and implementing effective flood control measures, but also enforcing stricter environmental regulations to curb pollution and overexploitation of the river's resources. The government's role in balancing economic growth with environmental conservation is crucial, as unchecked industrialization could lead to the degradation of the very resource that sustains the region. At the same time, fostering awareness among local communities about the importance of protecting the river is equally important, as they are the primary stewards of the river's health and sustainability. In addition to the environmental and economic aspects, the cultural and spiritual importance of the Red River cannot be overlooked. It has been woven into the fabric of Vietnamese life, inspiring literature, poetry, music, and art for centuries. The river continues to feature in festivals, traditional beliefs, and the collective memory of the Vietnamese people. As Vietnam continues its journey of modernization and economic growth, there is a growing need to preserve the cultural heritage associated with the Red River. This involves maintaining historical sites along the riverbanks, promoting eco-friendly tourism that highlights the river's natural beauty and historical significance, and ensuring that the stories and traditions tied to the river are passed down to future generations. In many ways, the Red River is more than just a natural resource. It is a symbol of continuity, representing the flow of history, culture, and life itself. Looking to the future, the Red River's significance will only grow as Vietnam continues to grapple with the complexities of development and environmental sustainability. The river, with its deep historical roots and ongoing importance to the nation's agriculture, industry, and culture, will remain at the forefront of Vietnam's development strategy. Investments in cleaner technologies, renewable energy, and better water management practices will be essential to protect the river's ecosystem while harnessing its economic potential. Additionally, international cooperation with China, where the river originates, will be critical for ensuring sustainable water management across borders, as upstream activities can have direct impacts on the river's flow and health in Vietnam.